What's up everyone? It's Dave from Both Lighting USA, and I've got another fixture demo and settings overview for you today. This time it's one of our newest fixtures for 2025. It is the BPM-SPOT, the battery powered moving spot from Both Lighting USA. So I gotta be honest with you guys, this is my new favorite mover on the market. Not because it's the most powerful mover in the world, not because it has the most craziest features in the world, but it has one feature that I absolutely love, and I feel like I can't live without it anymore, and that is the battery power. That is the wireless DMX. You do not need to plug a single wire into this mover to get it operating, to get it connected to DMX. I'm a wedding DJ in Philadelphia. I've used this thing on multiple occasions. I've also used our BPM beams, which are a similar battery-powered mover, but those have a tighter beam angle. They're the beam fixture. These are the spot fixture, so they're a little bit wider. They're really good for weddings and private events because these are the fixtures that, since they have that wider beam angle, they can point at a grand entrance door for your grand entrance, or they can point at the center of the dance floor to do a center of the dance floor first dance spotlight, for example. This thing is perfect even without haze. It does a fantastic job. It's super bright at 100 watts. It has two gobo wheels on it. It actually has a regular gobo wheel and a glass gobo wheel. So we're going to show you in a second here the beautiful gobo options that you can use with it. It's also got the prism. It's also got the gobo rotation. This has everything you need to be a fantastic moving head. And once again, I can't even stress it enough, battery powered wireless DMX. Let's take a look at a quick demo of the light, and then I'll give you an overview of all the settings on the front, everything on the screen, and I'll show you all the ports on the back. Let's do it. Taking a look at the back of the fixture, going from left to right, you do have 3-pin DMX in and out jacks right here, so you can wire this thing in if you need to. But of course, like I said, it does have wireless DMX built in. You've also got your PowerCon connection right here. This is for charging, and I can't stress this part enough because as you can see right here, it says DC 33.6 volts. There is an included power supply charger that has PowerCon on the end of it for this unit and the BPM beam, and if you use a regular PowerCon cable, which delivers 120 volts right through the cable, it will damage this mover 100%. So please make sure that you do not plug a regular PowerCon cable in here. Always plug in your step-down charger that comes with it that converts the 120 volts into the 33.6 volts that this fixture needs to charge. Of course, on the top, you've got your on and off switch, and that's about it. Let's look at the front. Going from left to right over here, we start off with your wireless DMX antenna right there. It's actually protruding out of the unit, and this is a good thing because it's going to ensure the best signal to your wireless DMX. You've got your DMX and error light right down here. DMX light will shine blue if you have DMX connected to it, and your error light will shine red if there's an error message, and I'll show you where to read that error message in just a minute. Over there on the right, you've got your LCD display. It is a full color LCD display. And then you've got your up, down, left, right, and OK buttons to navigate the screen. So let's start by pressing the OK button, and that gets us right to the main menu of the fixture where you've got 6 main screens. You have address, you have settings, you have manual mode, you have calibration, you have reset, and you have your notes. Let's go through each one of them, starting with address. Let's press OK on address, and you've got your DMX address right there where you can use the up and down arrows to change the address. Press OK to confirm, and you're back into your main menu. You've got your settings over here. This is your main settings of the light, and we'll go right down the list. First off, you have your run mode. So right now it's in DMX mode, but if you press OK and you use the up and down arrows, you'll be able to adjust into sound mode, into auto mode 2, and auto mode 1, and back to DMX. So there's a sound active mode on this fixture, as well as 2 auto modes. Those sound active and auto modes can actually master slave to another BPM spot. So if you wanted to, you absolutely could run this thing standalone without a DMX controller. Now, we all know that running a DMX controller with moving heads really lets you get the absolute most out of the fixture. But of course, if you have a simple event, if you've got some simple needs for the mover on one of these days, you can use the auto modes, or you can use the sound active modes, and the lights will still be happy and jumpy and colorful, and it'll look great. Let's keep going down the list here. We also have your channel mode for DMX. Now, right now it's in 22 channel mode, and funny enough, this fixture only runs in 22 channel mode, so we're gonna leave that exactly right there. If you press up or down, it doesn't change because this fixture has 1 channel mode, so that stays on 22. Next up, you have your wireless address right here. Now, wireless address refers to the wireless DMX channel. So for example, we know that address 1 is the red channel. If you're using our DMX Transmit Pro, that goes by numbers. So address 1 over here needs to match to ID 1 on your Transmit Pro, and you'll be good to go. There are 7 channels to choose from, and you'll see on this fixture, the color of the label changes. So now you can barely see it, but it says ADDR4, and we know that channel 4 is the blue channel. So I like to operate on channel 2, the green channel. I'm gonna keep that on there, and you'll see DMX connection just pulled back in onto the fixture. Heading down here, we've got your invert, pan, and tilt, which will essentially invert the pan and tilt on the fixture so that even if they're both supposed to point in one spot, the other one faces the opposite way, and that lets you do some awesome cross patterns. So if you are running this fixture in standalone mode, you're master slaving it to another BPM spot, you can invert the second BPM spot so they do some really cool cross patterns and look really fantastic even without DMX. Let's continue further. That's your invert, pan, and your tilt. You have your wireless switch. So of course, if you turn this off, wireless DMX shuts off. If you have this on, wireless DMX stays on. You have your encoder correction right here. Now, encoder correction is important because what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to tap, I'm going to bump the mover right now. I'm going to bump it, and you'll see it just went back to its spot, and that is thanks to the encoder correction. It corrects itself if you bump the mover. This is something that you want on, because if it's off and you bump your mover, then that mover is now completely operating however many inches or steps to this way that you pointed it. So you definitely want the encoder correction on so that you can make sure that the fixture fixes itself if it gets bumped. Going down further, we've got signal keep, and signal keep is nice. It's actually a feature that you want to have on, because if you lose wireless DMX signal for some reason, or if you lose wired DMX signal for some reason, this will let the mover lock itself and freeze onto whatever color and gobo that it was on. If this signal keep is off, that means that if the fixture loses DMX, the fixture itself will black out. Now, I don't like it blacking out because sometimes with wireless DMX, you never know what happens. You could lose connection for a split second. And in that case, if this signal keep is off, then the mover is going to black out. If not, it's going to freeze on whatever color it's on just for a second, and then it will pick back up and keep going. So in case you ever lose DMX connection, you definitely want signal keep on so it doesn't, wow the crowd with a blackout. This is also really great for uplights too, because if you black out a whole room of uplights, you will notice the difference. So you definitely want signal keep on for pretty much all of your lights. Heading down, we've got your screensaver, and I'm sure you guys have seen that every couple of seconds the screen dims itself, and that is thanks to this screensaver. So when you have that on, the screen dims itself after you haven't touched it for a certain amount of seconds. I think it's 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. There it goes again. Let's head down. We have your invert screen, and right now that's set to auto, but that feature is really nice because if you flip your mover over and you hang it upside down from truss, the auto will automatically flip this display so that you can read what it says. If I click OK here and I manually switch it to on, you'll see that the screen just completely flipped itself upside down. Of course, if you're hanging the mover upside down, you need to see it upside down. Let's press OK and get it back to auto so that it knows to flip back the right way. Let's keep going down. Update slave. So this is basically master slave on or off. You want the slave update slave on your second fixture that is not the master. So that's where you turn that on right there. Heading down, you've got your language setting. You've got your load default, which resets every setting that we just went through on this screen. And then you're back up to the top. Let's head back out of the menu. Let's go into manual right here. And manual mode lets you create a fully static look with all of the settings of the fixture. So for example, you have your pan, your tilt, your pan fine, your tilt fine. With this, you can move the fixture exactly where you want it from 0 to 255. And then going down here, you can set your strobe, your dimmer, your color, your gobo rotation, the second rotating gobo. As I showed you, there's 2 in this one. You've got your prism, your focus, your LED strobe. That's going to be your halo ring. And then you've got all the halo ring functions. That's what they call this LED here. So with this fixture, if you have a very, very simple job where you need to point the mover somewhere, you want to leave it there the whole time, you just want it to be playing one color or maybe just doing a cool gobo rotation, you can do that in here without any DMX. This doesn't have any movement. It's not going to make the fixture move, but it'll allow you to fully customize exactly where it's pointing and what it's doing for a static look. Let's press OK, head back out of the menu. You'll see when I just got out of the menu, it went back into DMX mode. I'm going to hit next, and we've got your calibration right here, and you'll see here there's a password. We actually don't even know this password. This is a factory setting only. There's only one time that this fixture ever needs to be calibrated, and that is in the factory. So you can leave this setting alone. You don't need it. You will never need it. That's calibration. Moving on, you've got your reset. Of course, there are 3 things in here that you can reset. You can reset your effect, reset your scan, and you can reset all. If you're ever running into an issue with this mover, I would go over here into the reset all button. When you press that, it should solve a lot of your problems. Of course, if you continue having problems, you've got our warranty, so reach out to us, but that reset is a good first start. Heading over into Note, this is just the basic information about the fixture. It has your hardware firmware version and your software firmware version. It also has some DMX info, and it has your reset info right here, which if you press, it'll tell you whether you have an issue with the mover. So when I mentioned earlier that this error light turns red, you can go into this reset info setting screen, and you can see what's going on. So it says system OK, but if there was an error, it would tell you it right there. Let's head back out. You've got your DMX data as well, and you've got your sensor info as well. If you need any of that, it is there for you. Let's head back, and that is all of the settings right there. Let's go back one more time, and this is your main menu. It shows your temperature of the unit, it shows your battery life, it shows you which mode you're in, and of course, your DMX channel. And that's all. Well, there you have it, folks. There was our overview and demo of the BPM-SPOT moving head. Once again, a fantastic fixture, perfect for all of our mobile DJs, our wedding DJs out there, our private event DJs. Give us a call, send us a message, send us a DM if you have any questions about this unit. If you want to learn more about the comparisons between the BPM-SPOT and the BPM-Beam, you can go check out our BPM-Beam settings video as well. It's similar to this format, and it goes over all the details, but most importantly, check out our website, send us a message, like I said, send us a DM, give us a call. We have tech experts, DMX experts ready to go. If you call the sales line, you'll reach me. I'm always happy to chat and make sure to get the right fixtures in your hands. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.